preach. Okay, so and that is what you will never get. Use the corona spread, okay, platform where people come to our
Okay. Now, very interestingly, he did
online training is just so that you on the of this market. Now we're bringing it to you. You don't need to come off your name and location to 08056905612. When you send, you can join.
All right, then. Thank you very much, Obi, and of course, Mike, for doing this while you're at home. It's as simple as that.
Taking the Forex teaching classes from offline to online. Learn a skill set that will enable you to make money trading in the currency market. How can you take part of this once in a lifetime? 0805 690 5612.
All the news and information with the best of sports, lifestyle.
w.facebook.com/today or on our SMS portal using the numbers 070-1933-9962. How do we turn this pandemic as we have now, where somebody posted up on Facebook how to now face and understand and how we really do with less staff. There's a lot of things that we engage to certain institutions, how maybe microbiologists and others were not given some sort of preference when it comes to medicine, and how they are just a sector with those who are the ones who are supposed to even devise what kind of virus or issues should be on the same level, that we understand the need for this group of people. I mean, this else now. Before we went on that break, Obijama, you said you wanted to spotlight something.
Directing universities yesterday to go on teaching virtual learning.
Online. And they said they were going to do, I think, something on NTA?
I don't know what they want to do. The point is that, where is the infrastructure to engage? Did you put that in place before now? Except for most of the private universities that are even into that. So, and we have not even encouraged the private universities, because universities like Ibadan, Lagos, forward. Let's go back to how it was before.
So the health sector, what about the health sector?
The health sector or the cow mat, because the horse is the state of the health sector is so bad.
He came up. There was something else he said to that. He said it would be unfair that we think that he was taken out of context, or context, I beg your pardon, that he knows what the health sector is like, that he was born in a remote village where what they had was a dispensary, so he knows how terrible the system is. But he says that now, at the front, there's certain things he didn't know, that this has also enabled him to
train as environmental scientists who are in the local government. They are crowded in offices. Why is it that they can't be taken out of those offices?
I don't think we champion a lot of pop.
So these things should be one of the things we should learn lesson from it.
All right. Okay.
So again, our doctors, even confirmed by underutilized. The man that had that was infected in US, Dr. Ndukwe, he was treated by the wife. And the AIT people were trying to get the process, which I know she cannot disclose. She handled the husband's case. And she's a Nigerian. Why can't also encourage these people to come back? We are talking of China.
All right.
All right. As we are calling for AIDS.
No, that's what I'm saying. You mentioned China.
Exactly.
And I'm saying in China's case, it wasn't us that went saying China come. China said we want to come.
One must even allow them to come. They are best. They are well trained. But the environment is not.
Where will we find ourselves? I mean, I don't even want to think about it, because I see the medicines that we produce here, and I personally, I wouldn't lie. I could go to a pharmacy and then give you a prescription, and then they'll tell me, oh, we have the international. I most likely will say, give me
the international.
And if we have
some years ago, I was down
went to a Nigerian.
The queue was moving faster.
It was moving faster. Now, they attended to us. Bottom line was that the doctors or the pharmacist said, look, when you take this in 2 spoons or so, don't go to anywhere. Just sit down, sleep. I said, look, I better go sit down.
Because, exactly.
We'll ask questions.
Now the components that ought to be in it are adequately there before they're given this together. That their kids will also be the ones that have to take
in a better
where
position
they compromise the quality.
And say, look at what has happened. Why is it that this one
with the manufacturers now, and they bring them in?
Welcome. This is. Let us look inwards. Yes. What kind of drugs we have in this?
But are we position ourselves to look inwards?
Nigerian state will even
are we not position ourselves to look inside?
That's where.
Would the environment be created? Would the neighboring environment?
The restructuring is restructuring.
I don't like this mind restructuring.
That's how I see it.
Yes.
You cannot say, a mindset. We need to also look at the restructuring of systems.
The system.
Because Nigerians are just ingenious. We've seen them in places outside this country that have systems and they're still compromising it. So let's also checkmate what for us is priority. If we're able to work with what our personal compromises, or should I say our personal how structures work, in limited to a point such pronouncement, it must be as narrow enough for the people of Iche to decide what they want for themselves, how they want it, and who will be in charge. I think for me, once you know that responsibility for a certain thing can be traced to your feet or traced to you, you're going to ensure that the best of the solutions are provided. Nobody wants to be the one that is identified to have caused the system to fail. But what we have in place are so many vague ends. But if we restructure in a form where we can say, this group failed because Obitima is the one heading it.
Sorry,
Obitima
is the managing director.
Obitima was given all the available. Yeah. So this is why security failed. We can play the system. Then we're also on a very long thing. The mindset, if it's not
clamored for, will be done by an individual.
Yes, personally.
But that of the system will require almost everybody, government inclusive.
We are not. These are the people we have given our collective.
Exactly.
Mr. Ndukwe says you should tell him how he's part of government.
Yes, let me know.
I agree.
Are you part of the shadows?
Those who say, look, we'll lead you, we'll govern you. It's okay, go ahead. I will vote for you, govern us. Come up with the policies that will make living less of a hardship to me. We are giving you everything. It is for you to now sit down, articulate, come up with policies that will make life better. When you don't do it, and you begin to blame the institution
should be blamed.
Meanwhile, if you even go down to break down,
it's a very poor constitution. It's a constitution that had not really taken cognizance of the multi-ethnic nature of Nigerian state. And in a multi-ethnic group we have, the system should be in a way that we pursue policies, we do everything to create competitiveness, peace, stability. Of the fact that the units that are, it promotes, advantages to with that system and develop.
Yes.
So if it's like a zebra crossing, when a zebra crossing is put, when there's no zebra crossing, your mind is not abreast to whoever is crossing or whatever. Anything can happen. Okay. So that's what we are talking about.
What about the system that there's zebra crossing?
No, the system conditions, or we can change our own mindset also.
But
so
we have
places
where there are zebra crossings. You can't the ones that those that are trained will still not. Don't tell you say stay there and let's see whether stay there. Let's see whether your leg is stronger than iron.
This zebra crossing, I learned it when I was in primary school.
I learned it too
in the 70s when electric lights. Traffic light was not there.
And I tried
we are taught about this amber.
I learned it here and I tried it. And I tried to put my feet on. The fact is, once your feet is on the zebra crossing, cars are supposed to stop.
Exactly.
I've tried it several times here in Nigeria, and you put your feet there, and no car stops.
No,
listen, I'm a governor of a state. I've been given allocation
I have my budget. I have my IG. I've mobilized all the resources.
It's even able to talk about allocation.
I'm trying to wrap up this conversation.
What has that got to do with me using what I have? Using what I have to provide for what has been, what the people need.
It's unfortunate that
it is
anyone to constitution.
The constitution cannot implement it. It creates the structures.
Who's the structure?
Calm down, Obitima, calm down.
You have mentioned the constitution.
Yes.
And I want to put it to you that the problem we are having is not a paper that has enshrined the manner in which a particular thing should be done by the leaders of the nation. It is the mind of the true.
No, I don't understand. Okay, hold on.
Yeah.
I'm trying to see how that influences. If I perhaps I'm moving around.
Say something about zebra crossing. It's different issue about the constitution. The constitution. Even the president put an end there.
Who makes it defective, please? It's clear. Let us know that.
The
Who
constitution.
makes it
Excuse me. If you are going through a constitution.
No, I think what he's trying to say is that the system.
The disadvantage position and the other the advantage position. Unless that kind of
nepotism. We got your thoughts on that. Thank you very much.
Let us finish this other one.
Thank you very much. We will not die here. We'll report just joined us in had to do with Emefiele, where he says let me just look for that. So he says we must reposition ourselves, turning Nigeria or opportunity for a new Nigeria. Nyesom Ezenwa-Wike has declared that his administration will continue to work the Government House Port Harcourt during the presentation of the recent achievements of the operations. No excuse to give. End of quote. Governor Wike said that as the state, anyone to politicize the issue of security, we don't want anyone to prosecute 0.62 mm live ammunition, 1,111 rounds, 9 mm live ammunition, 728 live cartridges, 4 AK-47 magazines, 2 G3 magazines, 1 SMG magazine. The total number of ammunition and cartridges, 3,249. All right, so you're looking for GMGs. I don't get it. The arms dealers who perhaps have been disengaged opportunities to see such high-ranking weapons.
Stands accountable, wealth acquisition, and of course, all information. I want to believe that he must have been, because the weaponry mentioned they are for warfare. This is not just something of petty stealing and all that. I think, I can only be shot when I hoodlums world. That's the way I want to call it. So I think what should help their methods and all that to hunt more places, because that was just Gubolo's bush. Get down to every other place, and they know all those places in terms of the areas that have been giving problems. A situation where you marry, so let them look for where they are. Ogubolo's bush is not the only bush in River State. And I think governor has been trying in terms of giving them logistics like the commissioner.
What happened?
Cool discussion.
No. Thank God for our lives. It is some munitions were discovered somewhere in this state. And despite the fact that the source of this we may not know, but let's take what he said here. How this may be coming from so many places, especially also now that there's lockdown globally. The arms dealers can also see this opportunity to do something to get cash. But any of the members of these gangs,
yes, they did.
Yeah, they should properly handle them. Let them reveal the source. How this kind of sophisticated ammunition came into this state. And we should not, because of also the COVID-19 issue and jettison the regional security issue. That's why we are seeing a lot of the problems. Fighting the invisible criminal, we should also ensure that the physical ones should not be allowed to
maybe they are no more moving in the daytime because before we still not be about here. And we don't know the people who are planting all these things in the bushes. They are in their collaborators, and one day they will launch attack and destabilize the entire state, and we'll start experiencing something akin to Boko Haram. God forbid. So let them take all the measures they can take to ensure open in this state. I commend the security agencies for doing what they did.
All right, we got your thoughts on that. Alhaji Nasser.
On the face of it, it is heartening that coming in with this kind of a haul. We think it is about time both the government and the security institutions recognize the salient role of OSPAC. At least government and the security should come up and own up and kind of show appreciation OSPAC, the security agencies, to acknowledge the contribution of this group of people by extending the same logistic provision, do more than they are doing now. Because these are this outfit, they go right in there into the bush to slug it out with these criminals, and they know them. You see, if we're able to integrate them in one way, or even encourage and let them be doing their own thing the way they know level of success and safety and security. At I don't know, these people are kept. Or look at the complaints we are getting about. They are disobeying government orders. And
other than the other one, you have several police checkpoints. And the conversation was that, well, with OSPAC, he was very sure that nobody was going to attack you on this road.
Partner with them so that we can have a freer, know that they contributed greatly to the kind of stuff. But the signals coming from various points,
as it were, what they are doing is actually a good job. But that, I mean, when all the criminals that this particular community or local government, we have to also consider that. But the advantages which I may agree with you is that these are persons who are coming from the community, and I must also commend the governor, who is the chief security officer. That, let me use the word importation of arms, as a matter of fact, particularly illegally possessed the land. And recently, I have moved both on air and on land. That, for instance, from Lagos State to Port Harcourt, Nigerian police officers, Nigerian army produce within our state arms. It could just, are not producing such guns or arms, should also have to answer. It is also an intrastate movement from Imo State, from Cross Rivers, Akwa Ibom to River State, Imo State to River State, Abia State to River State, Bayelsa to Port Harcourt. As a matter of fact, it is a security.
All right, I agree with you, especially when it comes to the Air Forest. I think that they've been doing a great job, and have the functional system in place for them, so that we understand hierarchy, we understand who does what and how they do it, and so that the system itself doesn't override them. All right, we've said that. Let's get to your thoughts here. Earlier on, it was on the CBN, the globalization and becoming one small village, and insisting that, look, we are so dependent on other nations for so many things, it would be catastrophic to just even think about it. So, thinking inwards, how are we strategizing? That was one of the issues that Amir Philip put up. He says, well, as for the CBN, they have been doing something in that like manner. They on the governor of River State, who was commanding the River State Police Command or security comes necessary that all hands be on deck in this. And in all hands being on deck, so we're not manufactured here in River State. They came in somehow. So how did they get? And going forward, how do we also locate these small cells that allow groups of people to come together and decide the way of life we want to take on is that of crime, and this is how we're going to be importing this. Of course, we understand the larger picture is, you've got weapons and arms pushed down this way from Libya and all the way down ever since Gaddafi's demise and all of that opened those doors for arms to be moved back and forth, and the wars that also allowed this to happen. We have continually seen an inflow of smaller light weapons within our region, but we must also begin to tackle from the root here. Why are people interested in buying it? Why do we have young boys and girls who are interested in getting this? Why is the life of crime so palatable for them that they would rather be in that than anything else? What opportunities are available for them to engage themselves in meaningfully that this will continue? This will now look 0810951091 or 081700000951. Send us text messages to 07019339962. And that's 07019339962 for text messages only and WhatsApp messages. And this here says the 50 million pounds will amount to 22 billion naira. How much is not pounds, is euros actually. How much is the $22.7 billion that the federal government wants to borrow? Or are we borrowing to? This says here, he also said, I think we're all hypocrites. The zeal and energy we've used so far to discuss COVID-19 is not the same for political matters. I'm happy that our politicians have stopped temporarily from going to the West for now, but they have not stopped from bringing the Chinese to us. The government should credit our accounts. Maxwell, you're adamant about this crediting of accounts. I hope the government hears you and does that. Hello, Today 95.1 FM. Good morning.
Yeah, this is Pastor Zaya.
Yeah, good to have you.
I think all your deputies. Yes, let me quickly look at the governor's. I think my sister, security in the area of the large arms that was covered from the foot and what they suffered. But I'm still saying that matter wouldn't have been there if the 10 billion naira was given to the state governor. I don't think that matter would have come up, because if you look at...
Why are we going to Caverton now, please?
Now, what I'm trying to say that so many things are already going wrong concerning COVID-19, as vehicles to carry tray and all of that. Those laws...
Caverton either. So that is why I'm still trying to say that is not my point of conversation.
So what I'm saying is that the borders, if you look, because if you now said that the 200 passengers came in through this Caverton pilot, and we are saying that in the borders, more than that, if they are taking money, they take money, and people are coming in every day.
We got your thoughts.
In trouble.
We got your thoughts. Thank you. Yep. Hello, Today 95.1 FM. Good morning.
Good morning, Annie. Blocking everywhere. They know about immigrants that is coming. Custom is the one on the border, knowing the goods are coming in and goods are coming out.
Yes, but I hope you know that some of these people also use different means and not the regular means to bring in these weapons.
That is, we have a system fellow in the
security. It cannot be foolproof. Drug war forever. And the
border have failed. Sister, see.
That's what I'm trying to say.
They know what they're doing. Right. How can the person give person want to go? Because I've looked at my own.
Okay, Obina. All right, we got. You've not contributed. It's the one here, River State, wants to come and contribute. The federal government will go and parade recovered weapons in Aso Rock Villa. And the information extracted from them, thanks in Port Harcourt. Well, I understand that he was trying to mean that if people like us see the ammunition, we will faint. So then they refuse to return their gun. Please send police to get it back. Election has finished. The governor is being commended and not Buhari. When you said the governor is handicapped when it comes to security. This goes to show that even the call for restructuring has a great that must have had, intel and supported whatever moves they needed to do. But the Dara mentioned it, so you can't take it away from the governor. And then this also River State Constabulary, they should keep it up. And a good morning, well done, Annie and Ima.